welcome to episode 554 of This Week in League. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jay.
And I'm Glenn.
He's back.
I am.
He's here this week.
Fantastic.
How you going, buddy?
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
More importantly,
I'm now paranoid. About the position of my microphone, you piece of shit.
Yeah,
so I was berated before we hit record.
Let me see that mic discipline, baby.
Fuck your mic.
If I can see your mouth,
I don't know who
you're not doing it right. Words to live by.
Yeah, love it. Yes, my wife is doing very well. Eyes are quite sensitive still as she recovers, but she can now see me loud and clear in high def.
In fucking 8K.
Yeah. So thoughts and press.
Mortified has a new name.
Yeah, that's it. Wow.
Now,
it's far worse than I thought were her first words.
You're going to need to catch up on the old C grade touch theme because last week I tell you people were devastated to miss it.
They were not.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what you say.
Yeah, they were. They were devastated.
I can tell you, gentlemen, that on the weekend I was robbed of the greatest moment of my C grade touch football career.
So it touched as you went to plant the ball down for a try?
No.
Called back after you scored one?
Correct.
Yep.
But let me just run you through, because it's to say that I was pulled back after I thought I'd scored a try is a reasonable. It's underselling it, basically.
Okay.
Big Diesel on the wing where he lives, attacking the line, couple of metres out. Yep. Link Goofy runs, attacking the line, throws a beautiful cutout ball, which dips quite rapidly as it's coming to me. I've bent down to scoop it up.
Yep. As
I've started to bend down, I'm a little bit top heavy, so I've started to fall.
Yeah.
I've flung my hands at the ball. It's hit the heel of my right hand, popped up in the air. I've continued to fall, ended up flat on my back in the in-goal area. The ball has then proceeded to come down right on top of me. I've caught it and put it down.
Yep.
The hill, the box, all the boys, everyone just erupted. The big Diesel. He scored a worldie.
He's fucking kept it up like he's playing hacky sack in California games or something.
Exactly. And unfortunately, the boos from the hill were heard throughout the touch football family of Toowoomba as the referee blew his whistle and said, "Fuck you, cunt, it's a forward pass." So it wasn't anything with your heroics or anything. He wasn't claiming that it touched the ground. No.
It was actually the pass.
Said pass was forward. So, but tell you what, the boys, we rallied. We had some experienced heads out who were away for for their kids' representative touch assignments in Brisbane.
Mm-hmm.
So we had 3 of our most experienced players out, come away with victory.
There you go.
That's good. What about the week before?
Didn't you
hearing about that? Was that a win as well?
No, he didn't play. It was
No, it was the week. That was the week before we had a bye. The week before this weekend just gone, we played a team called Royals, who are notoriously aggressive and feisty and a little bit cunty, if I'm honest.
Okay.
One guy who looks like he feels like he wants to be ready for a fight at any given opportunity during a game of touch football.
Yeah,
I feel like touch football is filling a little void in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And
the little void being his penis.
Correct. And I sincerely hope that he's a whole lot better at fighting than he is at touch football, given he's playing C grade. If he continues with his rather ordinary habit of whenever something goes wrong, his first motion is to like posture up like he's ready to fight somebody.
to who?
Well, it doesn't matter with those guys. It could be their teammates, it could be the opposition, it could be the referee. They're just a bunch of angry ants who live in C grade. Apparently they went up 1 year and played B grade and didn't win a game. Went humbly back to C grade and continued being cunts. So unfortunately, we got dusted. We were way off our game, very clunky, and we got dusted, which is disappointing because you never like to lose to cunts.
Must be very unsatisfying.
Yes, very.
To drop onto these guys. It's like losing to the Eels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There we go.
All in all, not as
just give a quick update on how things stand like across the season.
Oh, we're probably touch and go to make finals at this stage with the way we're playing. Yeah,
really got a lift.
We do, considering we've lost a lot of experience and a lot of good players from last year's grand finalists. I feel like we might be the Eels, Nathan.
Yeah.
Play in a grand final and then do fuck all the next year. But look, there's still time.
I'll be very disappointed if I don't get my fucking grand final day trip.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it the other day, actually. I was like, fuck, that was fun. Really need to do that again.
Yeah. A long season, there's just more build-up and it's just great. And the legend of the Big Diesel.
Correct.
But yeah. All right.
Oh, sorry, one other thing. Lions Touch Football Club decided to do player profiles.
Okay.
Keep in mind, this is a club that's been going 50 years, and there's people that have played in, guys that are running around, that, playing many, many years for the club. Guess who the first player profile was?
Yeah, of course.
Big D's.
Of course.
When did this take? Was this on their Facebook or on their website or what?
On their Facebook page, yeah.
Oh, all right. Let me just get. Hang on. How did I not see this? That's. Here we go. Let's see where we go. Okay, touch my phone. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right. Oh, there's a lot of Brad's kids up on this page. Round 6 there's a picture of the Big D's. Okay. Oh, Walshy got a profile too.
He did.
Legend. All right. Let's see what we got here. We've got to scroll down here. They've really been pumping these profiles out, haven't they?
They have.
I thought I'd just scroll down and then there you'd be, but no, there's fucking profiles coming. There he is. There's the D's. They better fucking say Big Diesel in here. That's all I'm saying.
No, but you have to read Alex's one further up. But anyway, we can get to that later.
We get that later. But the most embarrassing moment on the field, playing the ball without being touched.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Fucking stupid cunt.
I like this one though. If there was a song that could describe your playing ability, what would it be? The Great Pretender. Look, that's why you can get away with all the Big D stuff, mate. Because
because I'm a humble man.
And there's another profile there for someone by the name of Alex.
Yeah,
and he's and my God, this is incredible. There's a couple of questions they ask, like what position do you play, and this guy's obviously a character. What position do you play, everywhere or injured? But you go down there and it says, who do you look up to in the club? And then he goes, current players. Big Diesel carried the 2023 C grade side. And then, why is Lions the best club to be part of? And he goes on with the family club, blah, blah, blah. But he says, plus it's the home of the Big Diesel and the Human Torch.
So good.
At least someone's trying to fucking keep the flame going.
I got to tell you, and I did send you a message on the weekend, Nate. Where
I was going to bring that up, but go ahead.
One of the A grade boys was. I was sitting next to him on the hill. Great guy, Clemmy, young fella. Currently killing it, like swimming in cash. He's in construction. Yeah. Wipes his ass on $100 notes. The bloke
just got that nice 20% fucking bump from the CFMEU.
Correct. Currently driving around in a house deposit, otherwise known as a fucking Toyota Land Cruiser. Anyway, he says, I listened to your podcast. I was like, cunt, I told you not to. And he goes, so you're you're the most famous touch footballer in the world, eh? I was like, you can't listen. If it's one thing you have to do when you listen to the podcast, whenever Nathan speaks, it's not serious. Ever.
I meant it. Hey, if you're listening, I forget. Sorry, what was his name?
Jacob
If you're
Clem.
listening, yeah, okay, Clemmy. I'm telling you right now, I meant that shit. Did I say in the world, or did I say in Australia?
I can't remember.
Or maybe just like the most famous touch football player ever. Maybe I said that, but whatever I said, I stand by it because I meant it.
Brilliant.
And like until just now I know now. What was his name? David Clemmer. Now I know 2 touch players' names.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I meant it. I mean, who's more famous? I mean, if you're gonna try and rebut me, you need to place another name there that's.
We've been through this,
famous.
Nathan. I'm not going to go through this with you again.
Yeah, but if you'll say a name, and you know what I'll say in reply, and like sincerely will say,
who the fuck's that?
Never heard of the cunt. Who the fuck's that? Exactly.
And better than that, you could walk down the street. You could walk through Queen Street Mall, Pitt Street, wherever you want, and call out, I got $1,000 for anybody that can name a member of the Australian touch team without looking at their phones. And you keep your fucking money.
Yep.
But you walk through Sydney and scream out, Toowoomba C grade. You will hear, go the D's.
I feel like this is the longest C grade touch rap in history so far.
Well, it
could get longer.
There's fuck all NRL news to go through. It's all fucking state of origin puff pieces and bullshit this week, so we got no news segment.
Yeah, are we going to talk about the changes in the origin
team
sides?
Sure, why not?
Yes. Yeah, obviously, with more so on the New South Wales side of things. I need to go and grab that team list actually because I'd forgotten all about it until we would. Okay, so here we go.
So the team... While you're doing that though, the one bit of fucking news that did catch my eye.
Yeah.
So the Tigers have re-signed Adam Dewey.
Yeah, who I believe was representing himself, right?
But the headline is put out: luckless Tigers playmaker Dewey agrees to extension.
Yeah.
So it's like this cunt's life is so poor that he has accepted an extension.
He's so unlucky. He's so unlucky.
The Tigers gave him an offer.
Multiple ACL disintegrations aside, the most unlucky thing the man's done, he's re-signed with the Tigers.
So, yes.
Fuck it.
So he was offered a minimum. The Tigers offered him minimum wage for 2025, but he's knocked it back, and it's unclear whether they've upped their offer. But
I mean, if it was minimum wage last time, it didn't go down. we know that.
So, yes,
yeah.
It's,
so they got him on the Aaron Woods deal.
Yes. Read between the lines. No one else wanted him.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And because remember, he was like, obviously, like the injuries aside, I mean, like the injuries are a huge part of it, right? So that's probably, made a lot of teams reluctant. But then, remember, he was also like saying some cunty stuff that, like not great teammate stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't recall what it was, but I remember thinking at the time, I was like, man,
if I can't play 6, I'll
put me in Reggie's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking,
looks like it's going to be 13 or 14.
Yeah.
So, how'd that work out?
Yeah. Our Origin side, okay, the big change, of course, forced by suspension, of course, with Swali out, and Latrell Mitchell, after a couple of weeks of very good form, has taken his position in the centres.
Yep.
Dylan Edwards comes in, recovered from his injury, replacing Tedesco, filled in game 1.
Yep.
And in the number 17 jersey, or no, it's not number 17. Whatever the shit, the what the fuck selection jersey. Hudson Young is out, and Connor Watson comes in to replace him. So he's in the 14 on the bench, and of course Nico Hines has been replaced by Mitchell Moses, also who has exhibited some good form over the last couple of weeks since returning from injury. And Cam Murray comes in over McInnes. I've got to tell you, the Connor Watson one's a bit of a WTF, but otherwise, all of the other ones seem to make perfect sense to me.
I don't hate the Connor Watson selection. I think he's an Origin kind of guy.
I think he has far more utility value than Hudson Young.
I agree with that.
Correct.
But we'll see how he's utilised, because Madge has shown his hand was forced on him too. But I mean, he's shown that he's a bit of a cowboy when it comes to the bench. I mean, he's no Freddie, but let's see how he handles things.
Yeah.
Especially now he's got a side that's certainly strengthened in every position they made a substitution, in my opinion.
Yep.
So
it seems to be something that New South Wales coaches are poor at in general, is treating State of Origin like the unique beast that it is.
Yeah.
In terms of the sides they pick would be great in a situation where you have 20 plus games, and then if an injury strikes, you can go through a period where whoever you put in or shuffle around can get used to a position over weeks and, gel with the players around them. Whereas in Origin, You've got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That seems to be where they all fucking fall down. But
and Queensland, welcome back Felice Kafusi to the side proper, and not as the emergency 18th man. And Jermaine Hopgood's out, and Selwyn Cobbo's out, and I believe that Selwyn Cobbo ruled himself out, asking for the match off. Just due to I think just the weight of it and the mental health and that sort of thing. He just said he wasn't 100%.
Fucking good on him for speaking up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's face it. I mean, like at that age and everything, these Origin matches, $30,000 in hand. So
yeah,
it's not bad. But then Kurt Capewell comes in, who's look, there's definitely utility value for Kurt Capewell on the bench there, especially backs coverage in
the top 5 centres of Queensland Origin history.
Glennie's not arguing. Glennie's smiling and knowingly agreeing.
Don't hate it.
So what does that mean? So just quickly, we have no Tigers represented in Origin, and now no Raiders. Are they the only clubs?
Well, fuck, I haven't thought of it like that. So let me quickly cast my eye over there. Look, I guess potentially.
Are there any other clubs that have no one?
No.
So Cowboys do, Dolphins do, Broncos do,
even the Titans do.
Titans do.
Yeah. Knights do. Yeah. Look. Yeah, you might be right. I hadn't thought about that. What about Sharks? Are they being stripped out of there now? Or is there someone else in there that I'm not?
Yeah, they're fucking 13. They're lock.
Yeah, he got dropped out too. He's in the 19. He's in the 19.
There you go.
So he's in the squad, yeah, but he was in the starting lineup last time.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he's looking like he won't play in game 2. So, on game time, I'm prepared to count that.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, the deal with old mate Nico Hines, I'll tell you, that's one thing. Like, I'm not the hugest devotee of Origin these days, but let me tell you, I love it for the fact that the Sharks can do whatever the fuck they want to do in the first half of the season with their soft draws and whatnot, and then they select Nico in Origin. He gets head fucked for the rest of the year, and that's it. And I mean, he showed when he was potentially playing for a spot, or to retain his spot in the club game against the Dolphins on the weekend, and the lights were way too bright for young Nico in that game against guys, that he would be facing in Origin. So,
yeah, that is true.
Hate to see it. And you said there's no other news, so we can move on to the round that was. So let me scroll down a little bit here. And our first game, the aforementioned Sharks versus the Dolphins game. The Dolphins 30 defeat the Sharks 28 in their own home of Reclaim Australia Stadium. And this is a good performance from the Dolphins. I mean, the scoreline's a little bit kind of, I guess, deceptive or like not really telling of the how the game went.
Look, they led 22-0. I think the Sharks probably
very impressive first sort of like 25 minutes of the game.
Definitely
from the Dolphins. Like they were absolutely fucking slaughtering them.
I feel like they fell away, which allowed the Sharks back in. The Sharks were good enough to claw their way back on the scoreboard, and then the Hammer just had a moment that's going to be replayed for a long time. A length of the field, length of the field solo try beat every player on the field 3 times, including Kennedy at fullback. The move he put on Kennedy at the end was fucking amazing.
What it appeared like to me was that he was gone for all money, and he slowed down to let Kennedy come closer to him, and then so he could flex on him and beat him again, and then go on to score the try.
Just the split second when he was probably on about the 40-metre line, and he's sort of swerved towards the sideline and gone up a gear or two. When any other player, Kennedy is probably confident he's got him covered and uses the sideline as a defender and makes a cover defending tackle. He fucking got nowhere near him. Like he literally, in the space of 3 strides, it's like him, like Hammer in the open field is something else. It's fucking impressive to watch. And he had a great season last year, and he's continuing it this year. He's probably taken it to another level again, including what he's done in Game 1 in Origin. Just outstanding. It's great to see him taking the most of that opportunity at 1 for the Dolphins, and Nico did Nico things at the end of the game, and he's probably one of those guys that he's got the profile and he's had the success and the Dally M and all the rest of it, but I don't think he's an Origin guy.
And as far as I know, this is not a fucking Photoshop job. But after that game, the Hammer was awarded 5 Dally M votes, and Hines got 6.
No,
that's Photoshop for a fact. It's impossible to get 6 if the other one got 5.
It was Hines 6, the Hammer 5, Herbie Farnworth 3, Jeremy Marshall King 2.
If Hammer got 6,
he got 5.
There's two lots of 3, 2, 1. So if someone got 5, that means that there's the amount of points can't be tallied up for another player to get 6.
No, there you go.
Okay. 2 judges. Yeah, it's impossible. That's you have fallen bait to the Nico Hines 6 Dally M points meme that's been going since round 1 of this season.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Nico Hines, look, maybe you could find a point for him in there, but I thought he was, by and large, head fucked Nico.
Tend to agree.
That we like the worst kind that we see.
Yep.
Right. Moving on. Oh, you got socials for that one? Sorry.
Hang on, I'm still trying to find the socials. There they are. Troy. Nico biscuits again. He just seems way too slow and lateral, and surely he knows another kick except a long kick to a player or a bomb. I've tried to remain positive, but this season he just seems off. I'd probably say he needs to piss Origin off and all the head noise that comes with it. I don't blame him for the loss. Short turnaround. Fitzy rotated the starting pack around for good. For God knows what reason, interstate game 4 days ago. Dolphins off a bye and a run of hard games. Terrible start.
That was the first game that the Dolphins had won in New South Wales. They'd only played 3 previously.
Yep.
But in their first season, that's the first game that's the first game they've won down there, and at the Sharks at home. And there was a point there where the previous game the Sharks had at home was I think it was one against the Panthers.
Yep.
And so it had gotten to a point there where in 3 halves of football the Sharks were on a run there of 0 and like 64
it was
points.
Bad.
It was pretty ordinary, but look,
yeah,
I'm sure they all had fun.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That was it for the socials, was it?
Oh no, Chris said the John West Cup never disappoints. Tim did that Queenslander joke that all of them did. Said Nico has to be New South Wales 7.
Yep.
Ben just simply called them frauds. Liam, the 100-metre try from the Hammer turned us around. So good to beat the Shark. Cruzy, looks like Shark Park after dark is a myth. Nathan, this is a throwback comment. Hamaso scoring Reece Wesser tries in 2024.
Ooh.
Tell you what, young'uns,
Spicy.
go YouTube those fucking highlights. Go YouTube old Reece Lightning. The GOAT Reece.
He was good. He was so good.
Fucking millennial TikTok Reece. It's a back in my day Reece. You little fucking Reese's Pieces. Yep, that's it. Next game.
The Cowboys 34 to feed the Raiders 16 down there in Canberra. And let me tell you, another travelling team, it's not a great travelling team, has gone south to do the business. Cowboys all over them.
Little similar to the previous game, only the Cowboys never relinquished control. I feel like Cowboys starting to get consistently what they need from Drinkwater, Nanai, Robson, those sort of guys, and building nicely. They've been a bit clunky at various stages of the season, but they're starting to build a little bit of momentum, and to get over top the Raiders in Canberra at this time of year as well, which is always a factor, is an impressive sign that they're stepping in the right direction. But Canberra were pretty disappointing, though, I thought.
Yeah, and look, they got to 28-0, and so there was 22-0 at halftime, got to 28-0 before the Raiders even thought about scoring, and everything from that point was just all consolation stuff.
Yeah,
they're never in the game at any stage. And there's really, I don't know, there's not a lot they can take out of it, because even like you get a couple of consolation tries at the end, but
who cares?
The game was so far gone, for such a long time.
Yeah, 100%. The thing I like about the Cowboys this season, though, they've got a lot of fuck yeah guys. As in, if you got the news that most of the players out of that Cowboys squad, if you got the news that your team had signed them, you would be like, fuck yeah. Like if your team got Nanai or Holmes or those guys, or even Drinkwater, you'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's solid.
I think, in contrast, a team like the Tigers have got a lot of Y guys.
Well, for me, it's more like who. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
There you go. Make that meme up, Glennie. Pump it in the group.
I don't understand the Raiders' identity. I used to understand the Raiders' identity, where it was, that gigantic, intimidating forward pack, and Whiten was the big, dangerous running six, and they had some relatively good outside backs there, but their danger was always in their big, mobile forward pack. I don't understand who they are and how they plan to win football games much these days.
In answer to that, I think the Raiders are probably the greatest representation on the field of their fan base off the field. Cunts. A lot of them.
Oh. Fucking hell.
Fuck Canberra.
Okay. This with the Dragons literally having Nazis and rapists and pedophiles.
Pedophiles. Don't forget their immortal pedophile.
And that's just in their fan base. Looking at you, Shane Cash.
Fucking hell. I don't get where the Raiders are dangerous. You can look across the competition at the moment and understand where teams are going to try and play and how they're going to try and score their points. I can't get a grip on what the Raiders are doing so far this season.
I feel like they've got plenty of pieces, but Ricky doesn't put them together.
The problem is the consistency. I mean, they started the season incredibly, and then they can come and get just like absolutely fucking destroyed like this, or destroyed like the Broncos or whatever got them. Like it's just weird, like the swings of inconsistency that they have.
Yeah, exactly.
Like one of the biggest sides, the biggest differences between their best and their absolute worst.
Now, here we go in the comments. This is a good one. The question, Nathan, he said, in the presser, Ricky brought up an offside penalty on Danny Levi in the 3rd minute. He was not even a foot offside and got no real advantage on the play. I think I have to agree with Ricky when he says, why aren't all of these given penalties?
I don't have a fucking clue what he's referring to.
What he's saying is there was an offside penalty given where Danny Levi was slightly offside.
Okay.
But
cool. So it's penalty.
Exactly.
You telling me he was offside?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cry then, like fucking. Yeah. You're right. You just said he was offside, so what? Yeah. I don't understand what the complaint is. He was offside, but he didn't have anything to do with anything.
It's that Ricky Stewart thing of, why does it always happen to us?
Yeah.
Why is it
us? If you can tell me genuinely that he was penalised and he wasn't offside, then okay, fine. But yeah, what do you got to say, Ricky?
I get, please hear me when I say this. Fuck Ricky Stewart as a staff record label and as a motherfucking crew. But it's talking about the consistency of not, well, if you're going to call them as a penalty, call them all the time. Is that a massive issue in our game? I thought back.
Yeah, of course it is. People don't want stoppages or anything, so people don't want stoppages and they don't want the P line out of the whistle. So
no, I'm saying are missed offsides a massive issue. Because the way Ricky was talking, it's systemic and terrible, and it happens 30 times a game, and poor old Canberra got penalised.
It's a massive issue to Ricky when his team got blasted down like 28-0.
Yeah.
And 22-0 at half time. Maybe it was 20. Would it be 20? Yeah, maybe it'd be 22-6.
Yep.
Maybe it'd be 18-0. Like, fuck, you weren't in the game, bro. Stop crying about shit that didn't affect the fucking result of the game. Like, if that's the thing you're going to zero on. I'm not even looking at the statistics, but zero in on the million fucking missed tackles that your shit team made.
Yeah. Exactly.
Look, I mean, obviously head coaches, losing head coaches in press conferences, a large part of their job is, deflect, and then fix it in the video and everything with the players when you get the players, through the week before the next game. But, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing you're going to fucking, that's the thing you're going to carry into the press conferences as you gripe from the game?
Maybe he's just run out.
So the Cowboys are too good. They blasted you across every fucking category and statistic on the field. You need to improve.
Yep.
Back to the drawing board to find a way.
Yep. If you're Ricky Stewart at the moment...
Kill myself.
Well, no, you should have waited. The question was how. Do you persist with Rapana at fullback? Or do you, and again, I'm all for this after my fucking great chat around reserve grades and bleeding youngsters up, surely there is another option that you can bring in instead of Rapana at fullback.
Yeah, I mean,
Isn't that what Savage is there for?
But but Sebastian Chris did a great job there for a long period of time last year as well, remember?
Exactly.
So
surely there's another option.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, maybe Savage hasn't learned how to play rugby league
first grade. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Got to learn the game. Learn the game.
Play. Yeah.
Beautiful. Next game.
All right. Where are we? Here we go. The Rabbitohs 22 defeat the Broncos 12 down at Aqua Stadium in Sydney, and the high-flying Broncos knocked out of the 8 by the worst team in the competition at that point.
Yeah, it's not a great look at the moment for the Broncos. For South, they've won 3 in a row. Damien Cook with an improved showing, much like Latrell. It's probably his best performance in a long while, and stamped his claim on a blue jersey, and rightfully so. He was selected, and but pretty disappointing from the Broncos. Just I don't know. I don't know what to say about Brisbane.
They completed under 30 sets in the game. They completed at 64%.
It's horrible.
And when you look at that, South's completed 40 sets. So it was near enough, on double the sets for double the score. Like it's at its very core, a very simple game.
And this was another one of those games where the scoreline was a bit deceptive as well, because I mean the Rabbitohs were out to 22-0, I think, before the Broncos got on the board.
That's it.
And that was probably like 60 minutes into the game or something as well. Yep. So the game was more or less over at that point when the Broncos scored their tries.
Broncos scored 66th minute and 77th minute.
Yeah, there you go.
So for the vast majority of that fight back period in the second half, it was 22-6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as I said, Latrell, he scored a try, had a pretty impressive long run that almost resulted in a try. He laid on the last pass for Alex Johnson's record-breaking effort. So, look, if Souths are going to try and recoup something this season, I think a finals berth's probably beyond them, unless they go on a ridiculous win streak now. But
like mathematically still possible at this point.
Yeah.
But also now because of the resurgence in form with Latrell Mitchell and others, they get pulled out to play Origin as well. So now Rabbits are knocked back down a couple of levels in terms of the cattle they've got.
It's going to depend a lot on, and I don't remember how good their draw is. But one thing, doing those mid-season reviews, looking at every team's run home, there are some teams that have the luxury of essentially playing everyone they need to lose games.
Right.
So their destiny is, like completely in their hands.
Yeah.
Yep.
As in, it's not like they have to beat a team and then trust another team to beat the guys ahead of them. But yeah, it's still close enough that with some miracles and some very good results, I wouldn't be saying to the players you're not playing finals just yet. But look at the Broncos, 18 handling errors.
Ooh.
18. I haven't seen.
And Reece Walsh wasn't even there to make them.
Yeah, that's it.
Was
it raining? It was raining, wasn't it? I'm sure it was raining during that game.
Yeah, it was right. Yeah.
It was raining for both teams. How many did South have?
Yeah,
that is true. It's an interesting thing. For a little while, I've said that Brisbane are one of the better teams at playing in the wet like it's not raining. And the first couple of times I saw them do it, it was disbelief that they could throw the ball around like they do in the wet and pay no penalties for it. Unfortunately, it looks like the interest has come due.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, from the coaching point of view, that's what you do. You put this one off to, it was raining, it was this, it was that, we didn't have Reece, we didn't have da-da-da, and get on with your life. But Brisbane need a turnaround quick, smart.
Yep.
Socials
or
on
not.
that. Yeah,
Hashtag fuck
true.
Broncos. Stay down.
Thomas, he said, one of the matchups I most needed to see the team win, being a South supporter from Brisbane. Glory, glory. Enjoy that one. Cruisy. Yep, really good idea flying out of the country on grand final day. Jesus, he's given up already.
He has given up already.
Yeah. Winston, Broncos are just Cronulla from north of the Tweed. Daniel, could this be another massive slide at the bottom of the table for the Broncos?
Please do.
Lachlan, the Broncos can play expansive when Areno is there to set the tempo and maintain control and field position. When we can't control the field position, it just turns into this shit. Far too many errors, but well played bunnies. They also turned up to win it. Scott, the Rabbitohs make a rare exception tonight, and instead of selling rabbit meat for stew, they're taking horses to a glue factory. There you go. Next game.
Right. West Tigers shocked the world. Defeating the Gold Coast
got the
Titans
world!
18 points to 10 as they celebrate the absolute fucking drain on the council, state and federal taxpayer with $40 million being promised to pump some life into the Lilyfield shithole. Glennie.
Hopefully they knock down those fucking prison toilets are a disgrace. Look, it was a pretty ordinary game, but after 9 losses in a row, I'll take a win of any fucking standard. Appy was his usual self. Caesar was, it was good to see him back in the side. Olam and Steph, much improved performances. Steph was fucking horrible the other week, last few weeks. Yeah, they didn't look like that. It was a long way from convincing. I felt like the Titans were probably had, through Foran in particular, but young Kearney had a good game. Jaden Campbell did some great things, and I just felt like the Titans were looking more likely to put the plays on to win the game, and the Tigers kicked and got it, thanks in large part to a pretty impressive crowd at Leichhardt, given the way the team's been going. So, they talk about the magic of Leichhardt. I want the magic of Leichhardt for, to sprinkle over them and come out and play like an NRL team.
Yep.
Well, I feel like they got better. They got better the longer this game went.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but that's...
I mean, they only sealed it with, 10 minutes to go or whatever, but, yeah. I mean, it felt like there was a point there, once they got the lead, it felt like they were going to win the game. Because it seemed like the Titans, every time they were sort of working out from their own end, they'd sort of drop it like 40 metres out or something like that. Or they'd get an opportunity to finally attack and they just drop it straight away, And that wasn't happening with the Tigers. I mean, the Tigers were actually getting through their sets. It felt like they were getting through their sets and getting to the kick and controlling the general flow of the game.
When I say it was an ordinary game, I think the Tigers actually, they completed reasonably well to begin the game, and I think they were trying not to lose again than what they were to win, if you know what I mean. So
it really does help having a halfback, though. I mean, I'm not saying Aiden Caesar's a great player or a great halfback by any stretch of the imagination, but actually having a real halfback, though, that can take care of things like kicking and and provide the basics of game management.
Yeah,
I think that was probably the difference in the end.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think Bud's guiding them home.
Nope.
That way.
No. And why? Because he's the worst player in the NRL.
Fucking hell. Oh, God.
Anything else to say, Glennie?
No. I'm happy to get a win. And, just a little bit of a revenge on the travesty and the actual criminal acts of 2006 that saw Scott Prince stolen away from premiership winning team and potential dynasty by being bribed with a free house.
There you go.
Hold grudges, kids.
Amazing how they made that all go away, though, too, hey?
Sorry?
It's amazing how they made all that disappear. Yeah.
Our mate B Tiger, he said, Appy in defence, forcing so many errors in the second half. Justin was also amazing on both sides of the ball, with golden boots being celebrated, the stadium getting the upgrade. Watching one of the youngest and least experienced sides in the NRL get a W, Leichhardt was humming. We may never lose again.
There's a sentiment I can get behind.
In contrast, Terry said, with 10 minutes of competent rugby league from either side, we'll win this. As it stands, both sides should be fired into the sun. Stuart, this game was every bit as good as the phrase Aiden Caesar revenge game would suggest.
That's my favourite one.
Fucking hell. That was great. Scott, sure makes those 3 teams that lost to us look even worse, surely. The injury toll has really killed us. There's only so much you can do expecting debutantes to thrive in the weekly grind. And when the over-the-hill senior players like Leo are making dumb decisions, it compounds. I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed. There you go.
All right, the Melbourne Storms 38 defeat the Warriors 24 in their home ground over there at Go Media Stadium. And this one, Scaffolds got kicked down in one of the largest streaks in the current rugby league as far as bunny teams.
Yeah,
continues despite the Warriors getting up to a pretty handy 14-0 lead.
I thought the Warriors started on fire. Like, they looked amazing, and Melbourne had to work their way into the game. They settled nicely, and then took, later in the game were able to take full advantage of the Warriors going down to 11 players at one point. And again, once Melbourne got the ascendancy, they were, good enough to keep going with the Warriors, and then took their opportunities, as I said, and closed it out. So, Farlongo, there's going to have to be a decision made on Pappy in the not too distant future, and I don't think it's going to be a great look for Pappenhausen, because Farlongo is ready, and he's ready now to play full-time first grade.
I'd expect Pappy to be coming back to the West Tigers, frankly.
I expect him to go to the Gold Coast.
Yeah, it's possible too. I mean, if you look at the Storm's lineup, though. I mean, Pappy's not playing like centres or wing or anything like that. Especially the kind of money that he'd be wanting to get. He's not looking in the halves there either. He can't really be like a utility kind of guy either, I think. I mean, maybe he could be. That's probably the only role he does have that he could.
With a significant pay cut.
And that would also force him into far more contact than he's used to.
I mean, they have kind of used that role to bring him back into games after periods of injury, but yeah, no, it doesn't look good. I mean, and Farlongo's an absolute fucking star.
Yep.
But my God, some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen, particularly DWZ with that fucking off the ball coat hanger. What a fucking idiot! I've seen some dumb sin bins in my time. I mean, shit, I saw that fucking Paseka one against the Broncos right in front of my face at Magic Round. But my God, this was fucking up there. I mean, lazy, high, swinging a grow. He jumped up to do it against a guy who didn't even have the fucking ball. Wasn't even getting the ball.
Yeah, that's it.
My God.
Yeah,
and ultimately that and the previous one where Montoya was offside. Like, they ultimately cost the Warriors their ability to try and get back into the game.
Well, it's hard enough with one sin bin.
Yeah,
it's harder. And how much do we go on and on and on when a team has the advantage of a man and either don't add to the score or even worse, concede. So a sin bin is a significant penalty, and having two of them.
Yeah,
it's a bridge too far.
Yep. And so back down for the Warriors and the Storm. Keep that streak, which I can't remember how much it is now, but they're still going.
Oof. Absolutely terrible. Levi, really wish that was a game of nines. Fucking rocks and diamonds. Cahill. So considering how rough that opening 20 was, absolutely delighted with the result and to still be top of the log. Respect to the Warriors, though. They gave it a great effort. It's hard not to admire them, but it felt like there was too much passion at times. Shitting thunder and pissing lightning is great, but a lot of the brain snaps in the second half were emotionally charged. You wonder if cooler heads might have prevailed. There you go.
That was it.
Let's go.
Roosters 28 defeated the Eels 18 at Combank Stadium on Saturday evening. And this one probably cost Trent Barrett his chance at coaching the Eels going forward in 2025. I believe that the list has been cut, and the remaining, it's apparently down to Josh Hannay and Jason Riles. So probably the best two qualified, particularly Jason Riles. I mean, in terms of qualifications, as guys who haven't been head coaches and looking to make that step up.
Yep.
You right there, Glennie?
Nah.
We're keeping you up, love.
Fighting hard.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you just got to address it because it's the elephant in the room. I know, mate. I fucking hate the Eels as well.
Yeah.
Although you're probably doing it during the time.
Is there a Toowoomba C grade touch that we could submit for the Eels job?
Oh, look, there's
Have you got coaches?
Not per se, really.
This is much like the same answer you'd get from an Eels player at the moment.
We've got a few experienced old heads that assume the mantle, but not a coach.
Yeah, okay.
In its true sense.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough.
I thought this was a seesawing game. It was ultimately a good contest. I mean, initially it looked like the Roosters were just going to put a score on them. Really dominated them. But then with letters getting sent to the sin bin.
Yeah, that Para had a good period either side of half time to take the lead. Initially, as you said, and they looked like the Roosters were going to crush them, and they met Para's challenge, and when they lifted, the Eels couldn't really hang with them, and the Roosters were good enough to go on and close it out.
Yeah.
But Dylan Brown's try was a sign of, as much as he, there's a lot of talk about how well he goes when Moses is in the team, but when Moses is in the team and he's controlling and doing the kicking, etc., and Brown goes back to his true form of a running six, fucking impressive at times.
I have a lot of problem with the defense of that try. But I mean, at the same time though, it was excellent work from Dylan Brown, who wasn't going to do what he did, but he looked up and he liked what he saw with the retreating, with the numbers and the retreating markers and everything, and just took advantage and managed to do it so decisively and so quickly that even though there was a decent wall of guys by the try line by the time he got there, he just had the momentum he had, catapulted him over.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Moses not good enough to keep the Eels close enough to come through in the clutch, to the surprise of absolutely no one, and was rewarded with a fucking Blues jersey for his troubles. So.
because the only competition was fucking Nico Hines.
What about Lukey Brooks, mate? We picked Luke Brooks over fucking Moses.
Yeah, Brooksy should have been sixth to start with.
There you go.
I mean, he should have been sixth in the fucking game one.
Oh wow,
Jeff,
you're just
the commentators suggesting the Roosters scored those tries down the edges because we were down to 12 men. Have they not seen our edge defence all year with 13? Stephen, Lussick is like Keanu Reeves in Speed, but instead of saving everyone, he drives the bus off a cliff. Fucking hell.
Love it.
Oh,
what's the deal with putting Lussick on when clearly the Eels seem to go better when they've got hands and dummy half, right? And it looks like he's actually building and sort of getting his shit together. And then it just seems like they just kill all of their, momentum and cohesion and everything by throwing Lussick on. And maybe that is, I'd need to watch the Eels closely, which is kind of against my religion. But, his hands falling off tackles and shit. He's getting tired. He can't go longer periods of time, or because it just seems like taking him off is always a catalysing event for them to head straight to the bin and play the way a Trent Barrett coach side plays.
So is that him or is that the coach?
Well, that's the thing. Is he doing something to get taken off, or is he just getting taken off because fucking Trent feels like he needs to fucking shuffle guys around?
Option B.
Yeah. All right. Socials. Any other socials? Any socials?
No, let's go.
What do you got for me? All right.
Let's go.
Oh, the mighty Manly Seeds Eagles 30 defeated the Dragons 14 at Brookvale Oval on Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Glorious fucking weather, glorious day. And despite having the venerable Peter Goff referee throwing penalties and fucking shit at the Dragons all game long, brave. We have these So Brave games. The So Brave games, traditionally in the context of this show, the way that it was initially coined, probably by you, Glennie, was it's usually in a beaten side. But in this occasion, they were so brave, but also so incredible. These players, especially the 13 fit players that were left at the end of the game, I mean, they've carved their names into fucking rugby league glory with one of the greatest wins that we've seen, not just the NRL era, but the history of the great game that we all love.
Fuck me, if I wasn't tired before, I am now.
absolutely incredible injury Tile suffered through the game, and there's some players. Every player earned their fucking glory in this game, including ones that I absolutely am on the record as fucking not liking at all. Like Corey Waddell with his fucking knee injury or whatever it was that he did to himself in the first half when he was off. The fact that like he didn't lose that injury at halftime, and so he would just come on and do like a 5-minute or 10-minute stint where he couldn't fucking walk, he could barely fucking walk, he couldn't run at all, just sort of filling a warm body in the line just to give someone a rest for a couple of minutes and then so they could come back on again. Just incredible. Great leadership from Brooksy, absolute elite game from Daly in terms of game management and just controlling the field position and where it was played. Ben Travojevic playing in multiple positions across the field at various times, covering dead bodies, and also amazing. Hamoli and Daly, though, were absolutely fucking incredible and gargantuan in this game. And Lehigh Hopewadi, again, there was a time there about a month ago when we bought fucking Shoop from the Titans because we were so thin in backline stocks that, it was tough to find players to, week in, week out. The week he comes down, we were okay, and it was like he was going to maybe debut the week after that, which is probably when Lehigh started his run, and now we're in a position where, guys that are incredible like Tommy TWiL, who have done everything asked of them, in addition, like what happens when Turbo gets back? Who's like someone's got to make way, and it's a great fucking problem to have. Jake Simkin.
Can I ask you?
Yes.
And we've discussed this before about the whole. There's bogey teams and bogey grounds and all these things that the scientific mind says shouldn't exist, but we all know that they do exist in sport.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Are you at all concerned that Manly's record at home is 6-2 and their away record is 1-4?
Yeah, not particularly.
Because that's one of the starkest home and away records I've seen in a long time.
Manly doesn't travel, mate. Fans don't travel.
Yeah. We've also played like at our like 2 bogey grounds for us where we haven't won in fucking like forever.
So that's what I'm saying. Do things like bogey grounds come into that stat and make it irrelevant, or do they support the stat that you actually have bogey grounds?
Honestly, I mean, they're not grounds that you have to play finals at anyway, so I don't think I'm not too bothered about it. And when you look at the sum total of those losses too, I mean, they were all like barely a try in each of the games either. Just unfortunate they happen to be losses. But the only ground I consider like a legitimate bogey ground is like fucking Wynn Stadium, because that one is so long. Like one win over such a long period of time. It's fucking undeniable.
Yep. Yeah,
and I don't think it's necessarily that it's like a particularly a bogey ground for us. It's also the game where the Dragons are the only place the Dragons play well.
Well, your home and away ceiling and floor, your differential, is greater than that of teams like the Broncos. So you're 6-2 at home and 1-4 away. The Broncos are 4-3 at home and 3-4 away.
Yeah, and how about and how many of those away games the Broncos played at Lang Park? They won an away game against Manly at Lang Park. They played the Dolphins at Lang Park twice and won both of those games. This is what I'm saying.
But your home record is still 6-2, whereas theirs is 4-3.
Yeah, but they're also. But I'm saying that their away games. There's at least 3 of those.
Yeah, they've won a couple of away games that happen to be, but they're
actually home games as well. So I mean, they're home games for them. It's because they played at Suncorp Stadium as well. So, like, I mean, that one, like a team that plays so many games at their home ground because of just the way that things are structured.
Okay.
The Dolphins
so it's not a thing. No. We shouldn't keep our eye on it. Okay. There we go.
No, I don't think it's fucking.
Okay. Nice one.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, win your home games, win more. Win as many of your away games you can, and if you win all your home games, you pretty much. That's 75% of the battle anyway, so...
Get you there. Dean, he said, this game sums up why I criticise Hunt so much and say he's overrated. Looks great when the team is on top. When things are tough, he can't create. Can anyone name a game in his whole career where he stood up in a tight one and came in clutch? No, I can't.
I think
I'm sure Dragons fans.
Origin games.
There's probably Origin games. Yeah, I mean,
scored like 2 match-winning Origin tries.
Yeah.
So.
Ryan, Jake Simpkins wins his first game in a long time, and there's smiles all round. Thankfully, it looks like he'll recover from the deep scars to his mental health from his time at the Tigers. I wish him a speedy recovery.
I tell you, it's great. He's the first real hooker we had since probably fucking Happy. Like passes from the ground, like just everything looked fucking so much smoother with him there, and that's his first game before he's had the chance to even fucking figure out what everyone likes to do and wants to do and expects from him and all that sort of thing. He just went in and just played whatever he does naturally. So he's gonna get back to that fucking best in class shit that he was when he was up in Queensland.
Christopher Jones, you said, people like to hate on Manly, but our Tiger rehabilitation program might just be the world's best. It's miles ahead of Taronga Zoo. Dev, Matt said, fitting that ads for Inside Out 2 ran on the ground. During that game, I felt joy, anxiety, disgust, anger, and finally sadness. There we go. Next game.
Where are we? The Panthers 26 defeated the Newcastle Knights 18 at McDonald Jones Stadium, the Newcastle home field. And this one was looking fairly comfortable for a while out of the Panthers.
Yeah.
And the Knights sort of shaped up, made themselves a bit of a comeback. And
there was
once again, the big Achilles heel in the fucking Penrith system, which is their right-hand side defence.
Yep.
My fucking God. They did not disappoint this week either because there was some absolutely garbage.
Oh, wasn't it just?
When it was like, what was it, like probably 20-6 or 20, yeah, I think it was 20-6 to you guys. Yep. And then Knights, when those 2 tries that they scored.
Bang, bang. Yep.
Bang, bang, again. And they were tries they should not have been scored.
And very nearly a third.
Yeah.
Very nearly a third.
It's weird. It's the first time that I can go, you can go, wow, there's actually like, it's not just like, oh, someone had a bad game and that team almost beat Penrith whatever.
Yep.
It's like those guys are getting fucking exposed, and like in some cases, like in this guy, they're getting exposed by dudes that had no fucking right to expose anybody.
That's it. It's an interesting thing in sports. I'd always been of the opinion that in sports, and again, like most things in life, that given enough time, resources, and want, there's not much that people can't do. There's the laws of physics and everything else is negotiable. But I've been listening to a lot of stuff by some fairly prominent athletes, and some of them seem to be of the opinion that some of what it takes to operate as a top-level athlete is so demanding, there are people out there that literally don't have the mental capacity for it.
Okay.
And so I'm now starting to rethink my entire view on, well, hang on, surely if this has been happening for so many weeks, surely you're working on it, and surely you should be seeing gradual improvement in these key areas in the defensive schemes. It may be the case that they are just at their peak.
Yeah.
And this is now something that we have to live with. And instead of trying to plug that gap, they're just trying to make sure that they can outscore and say, well, look, we're going to leak 12 points down that side every game. We're going to leak 12 points down that side every game. We need to be able to outscore that every single game without fail. And maybe that's the direction they're taking. Who fucking knows? Still, absolutely fucking incredible that they are still second on the ladder after 3 years of premiership level players being stripped out and their first choice half being off for most of the year injured. The guys that stood up in this one were the guys that I like to see. Sorensen had an absolute blinder of a game. He's that guy who I don't think would look out of place in a Blues jersey. He's that player that Queensland seem to have a real knack of finding. And it's stuff like, whenever there is a loose ball, he will be the guy throwing himself on it. Whenever there is a break near him, he will be the guy scrambling back. He's invaluable in wins like that. To their credit, the Knights showed what I guess the precipice is between being genuine contenders and not. And for them, it's just a couple of pieces. Like the difference in that side with Bradman Best in it.
There's actually a name. There's actually a name for that syndrome, though. Like the Newcastle Knights, and like there's actually a name for that line that stops them from, you know, that is currently keeps them where they are.
Please.
And prevents them from going. And the name, then what they call it, scientists have actually studied it. And I'm not sure if you heard the podcast, but it's called Jackson Hastings. I'm going to make a bold statement.
Was that the Huberman podcast? Where
yeah, I believe. Yeah,
discovered
I think it was,
the Hastings peptide.
Yeah, like in his endeavour to provide zero cost science advice and health advice from Stanford University. I believe that the scientists did a study and found that Jackson Hastings is the worst starting halfback in the NRL today. The Knights have fucking got players there ready to go.
Yep.
They really do.
Yep.
And what, like 99% of that game was the fucking Knights busting their asses and Jackson Hastings putting up a fucking kick for nothing to no one. I mean, he did ultimately reap a try from one kick that was down to him, but holy shit, like they wasted a golden opportunity just through so much ineffectual stuff. And this is week in, week out kind of stuff. Like, I'd love to hear what Knights fans have to say about that, because I think that he is just an absolute handbrake to them. And you know, I hate to give the Knights credit, but he is an absolute handbrake on that side.
Yep.
Wow, what a fall from grace.
Yeah, fall from grace from me singing his praises.
There we go. James, he said, Jack Cogger is proof that I shouldn't just take Glenn Blakely's words at face value. Do your own research.
How very dare you, sir.
And Graham said it was an easy 2 points. Let's go. Next game.
That's it.
That's it, isn't it?
Yep.
That was it.
Oh, there we are. Yeah, that was right.
Yeah.
It was the last game. I'm not used to playing Sunday afternoons.
No.
Oh.
Okay,
Right,
so in that case, we move on to the games this week, and there's going to be a bit of fun.
Glennie looks like he needs to do the flip of the coin previews. Just run through them and pick one, Glennie. Come on.
Fuck him, he had last week off. He should be fucking raring to go.
Haven't I had 2 weeks? I've had 2 weeks off.
Do you dim the
but it wasn't in a row though, was it? Was it in a row, or was it like one on, one off, one on, one off?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you dim the lights the more tired you get? Because I feel like I can see you at the beginning of the recording. And now you're like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger watching Jamie Lee Curtis do a strip dance.
I need to get a new little fucking TikTok light. My other one fucked out.
Just go down to Kmart and get yourself another one for $13.
I think I better do that.
All right, so the
lights are dimming in my head rapidly. I'm going to tell you.
Right, well, stop fucking interrupting me then, so I can get through this.
Shut the fuck up,
Jesus Christ.
Jeez, I get angry and I'm tired.
It's the Jackson Hastings of podcasting.
Wow, I've had a fall from grace from the 15-minute Seaguard touch rap at the start of the show. Now I'm Jackson Hastings. Fuck you.
Yeah. Obviously you blew through all your powder in the first 15 minutes talking about your fucking hacky sack.
Gone from the most famous touch player in the world to Jackson Hastings. How fucking that's shit.
Yeah, I mean, with that attitude, you're gonna fall off that fucking mantle real quick too, I think. Okay, so the Sharks got to buy, Broncos got to buy, Cowboys got to buy, Dragons got to buy, Eels, Knights, Panthers, all buys. Dolphins take on the Storms. It's our Friday night game at 8 p.m. and obviously heavily Origin affected. Although the Dolphins not super crazy. I mean, they got the Hammer and Wanda Sykes playing in the Origin game. And Trey Fuller's obviously proven to have done the job tremendously several times this season. The Storms.
Can I just point out here, what was it before Pappy started getting injured? Was that 4 years ago?
Fucks me.
Yeah, it feels like a long time.
Let's say it was 4 years ago. If at that time we were doing this podcast and one of us said, hot take, Ryan Pappenhausen will never play a game of State of Origin, would you have believed it? That is incredible to me.
Yeah.
That he has never pulled on a Blues jersey and run out on an Origin field.
Is that a
with
thing?
the amount of
He's never played for New South Wales?
Never played.
He's certainly squatted it before.
But was always injured.
Yeah,
right before.
Yeah, okay. So, but speak of the devil, he makes his return this week.
There you go.
Who else do we have here in the side of note? Obviously, the Stormers, I guess by their standards, also probably fairly light on in terms of representative duties, with Xavier Coates and Harry Grant unavailable. So they will come back in Pappy. Bronson Garlick will come in for Harry Grant, and then you've got a bunch of other guys as well. There's a few changes there with we're just talking about Sewer, not going to the wing, and here he goes. He's going
on the wing. Yep.
for this game. So for Pappy. So I guess we'll see how we go. Look, I think the Storm are just there's far too much continuity in the Storm at the moment.
Yeah.
It certainly helps to have a non-interstate game eligible halfback. Maintaining a consistency through there in terms of game management for them.
They lose. They obviously, they lose Harry, but which has advantaged Dolphins with how Marshall King's been playing this season. But even away from home, I expect the Storm to be too good for the Dolphins.
Yep, I would agree.
That's it.
Okay, the next game is the Titans taking on the Warriors at Hope Solo Coliseum. So this is going to be a home game for the Warriors, for sure. As we always remember back to that Anzac test that we went to, Glennie.
Yeah, that's it.
It was fucking insane. And I'm sure that Levius will be in attendance there to see his beloved scaffolders in action. Gold Coast without Mo Fotuaika for Origin duty, and miraculously still hanging on to David Fafita for this game. The Warriors, they've lost Kurt Capewell, and Mitch Barnett's there as a New South Wales 18th player, so he won't be released either. DWZ's out, Rocco Berry's out, as well as their Origin guys. They will do welcome back in RTS in the centres though, and a bunch of other guys that don't really mean a hell of a lot to them in terms of performance.
Surely the Warriors win this one.
Surely. I mean, they must be probably the shortest price favourites of the round, right? If I just cast my eye over things. Yeah, and rightfully so.
Titans went fantastic last week. So
it is very hard to find a way forward for the Titans, especially when Mo Fotuaika is one of the most consistent performers for that side.
That's it.
So,
yeah.
Look, even Fafita can't be playing for an Origin position now. I mean, I still find it mystifying that he's not in the fucking side, but, Queensland's loss is the Gold Coast's gain, and it won't be enough to help them against the Warriors.
Warriors too good.
Yep.
Just too many points in the Warriors, I think. If the Titans can only find 10 points against the West Tigers,
they may find 11 against the Warriors.
Yeah.
Or they may find fucking 0. You just never know. Oh, big game. Origin affected, but a big game. The Roosters take on the Dogs. And Origin duty for the Roosters, Angus Crichton, Connor Watson, Spencer Leniu, and Lindsay Collins there over in Queensland. Doggies, they'll only be missing Stephen Crichton. But Stephen Crichton is an enormous fucking player for this Bulldogs side. I mean, it seems that everything good
absolutely
in attack comes from Stephen Crichton.
He's he's that buy of the players that have come out of Penrith over the last 4 or 5 years.
I think so.
Where he's and in a similar vein to Appy, but that's a deep cut for Penrith, if you know what I mean. And what he has brought to the Bulldogs, not only his skill and ability on the field, but his leadership and his experience and just having a winning mentality. I honestly think he's on great money at the Bulldogs, but I still think the Bulldogs got exceptional value for money with what they've got across the board from Crichton. Really impressed with him.
Yeah, and are we talking about the problems with the Panthers in defence? Direct correlation to him not being in one of those positions.
Yeah, 100%.
That's where it all starts.
He's one of those players. Like his growth, both as a footballer and as a leader on the field,
Yeah.
is one of the sharpest trajectories that I can remember, because he was always talented and he was always a valuable member of the squad. But to where he is now, that is such a sign of dedication and discipline.
Yep.
That he's probably he is the biggest Origin loss to a team in terms of impact. Would that be fair to say?
I don't know. I think fucking DC, fucking the captain and halfback from fucking Manly's pretty big fucking loss for them. I mean, we're going to certainly find out this weekend. But like it's been for the doggies though. Like he has proven to be their heart and soul.
Yeah.
And is certainly the leader of that side. Most certainly over the top of guys like Birdo, where you would expect it a bit more. So this one going to come down to the great baseline doggies defense versus the Roosters. Obviously have far more attacking options. What I'm most intrigued about with this game is who is it going to be out of Jared Warrior-Hargraves, Brandon Smith, and Victor Radley that Reid Marnie starts on this week, and what's he going to say? I'm so curious because
it has to be Radley for sure.
Because I'll tell you, this little cunt's got me all turned around now. Like I hated him, but now after watching him so many times in a row, get someone on the other team absolutely fucking redlining.
As one of my favorite YouTube people says, game is game.
Oh, I respect as a lifelong troll. I can't help but respect the game. Like he's won me over with his consistent excellence in the field of trolling on field, and so I'm dying to see who he starts on this week and what he says. And I'll tell you, it's only since the advent of his troll game this season that I've wished that we've had the old red button on Foxtel where you could just get the ground audio and the referee's audio and shit, because I just want to obviously I understand why they won't let us hear that shit in this day and age, but fuck, I wish we could. And for that reason, only for these games, for that reason only. Look, I think the Roosters still got far too many points in them.
Yep.
The Dogs' defense the Dogs' defense certainly has the ability, I think, to make it a closer, lower scoring game, but I still think the Roosters are going to have more points than them, and their defense is no slouch either.
Yep.
And I was going to say final game. It's not. The Rabbitohs take on the mighty Manly Seabs Eagles with about 20 guys out of their fucking top 30 out of contention, helped massively by the selections of Latrell Mitchell and Cam Murray to Origin.
You've got more ins than outs, don't you?
Well, yeah, we got lots of ins because the outs are so numerous, and the Origin players. So we got
five outs.
Yeah, but we already had outs to start.
You've got 9 ins. 9 ins to 5 outs.
Yeah. That's when you look at those 9 ins, they're going to be.
We're changing the narrative here.
One of those ins debutants is Brad Parker.
Well, he's on the reserve bench. So okay, so what they've named here is they've named Aaron Shoup to make his debut in the centres. They've named also one of the players that I've been most excited to see all season, Caleb Navale, who has already played international football for Fiji. He's an absolute fucking weapon. Killed it in the internationals, and been dying for, like, this is a guy that's been under development for a couple of years now, and he's finally fucking getting his shot, and he's going to be amazing. And I'm hoping that he takes his opportunity in this game to potentially grab one of those bench spots and and eliminate one more donkey from the bench that isn't quite up to it. It's like a Corey Waddell sort of character, one of those sorts of guys. Very, very excited to see him in action. Carl Lawton's named at 7. That's not going to fucking happen, obviously. That's retarded. And incidentally, Carl did play like his best game in ages on the weekend because he wasn't, Simpkin was forced to play 80 minutes because of the injury toll, and that meant Lawton had to play on an edge, and he was fucking great, made a couple of breaks, had some great runs down the left there. I expect him to do that again in this game. And then we see there in 21 on the bench, Jamie Humphries, and he will make his debut in in the 21 jersey, but he'll be playing halfback. He's been groomed for the position long term, and his debut is probably overdue. I mean, he really killed it in the trials this season, and I expect him to do a great job for the side. Brooksy gets the captaincy at his new club. Show the respect that we have for Brooksy already, and Itasi James also looks like he's going to debut. We've got a bunch of backs, like outside backs, on the bench. Of course, Brad Parker has since moved to the back row. I don't expect to see him there, but the big question marks is Toff Sipley was fucked. I think he did his MCL last week, so I don't think he's going to play. I think he'll be 2-3 week injury. Corey Riddell couldn't walk in that second half of that game, so I don't know what was wrong with him, but I don't think he'll be right either. So I think we'll see someone like Jamie Humphries come into the side. We'll see Carl Lawton move to the edge, and that probably covers the ins and outs. Rabbits. Look, pretty stable. Like Jai Gray's a great player. He's definitely not Latrell, but he's a good player. I think Manly, with all the injuries they got, I think their forwards fucking cover them, and I think their backs are like, apart from the halfback position, I mean they're relatively undisturbed. Combinations will be there. I expect everyone to lift. Another big game from Lehigh, and Manly are going to win this one so fucking easily against all the odds. It's going to make people. I mean, last week's game and this week's game are going to be the games that you're going to go back and watch again and again and again on the grand final winners DVD set at the end of the year.
Oh, fuck me, dude. Thought I'd fallen asleep and I was having a nightmare, but as it turns out, it's just you talking.
Your nightmare is yet to come. West Tigers versus the Canberra Raiders.
What a segue. What a team. We are the fucking best.
At Campbelltown, Glennie. This game has a 60-point win to Canberra written all over it. We've seen this happen fucking 10 times.
Many times.
What's going to happen this time, and how's it going to change?
Isn't it amazing that the two fucking most pathetic clubs in the league that have zero state of origin representation just happen to be playing each other?
Yeah, so realistically, it should be the match of the round because the combinations are intact.
Yeah,
but it's still the Tigers versus Canberra, so it's not going to be the match of the round. Look, it's Campbelltown. Tigers, spiritual home. They talk about the magic of...
Jared Hayne got off the Chargers too, so I assume he's going to take ownership again.
Well, he's back to being the landlord.
Yeah.
Really? The bank didn't foreclose on him?
It was his house. I mean, I don't think he's by the grace of, I don't know, maybe he thinks that he just thinks the Tigers, he lets them run around there because he thinks they look like a bunch of fucking half-eaten vaginas.
I knew it was going somewhere down that line. I just wasn't sure exactly where you were going to end up, but there we are.
Yeah, it took me a little while to figure out how I was going to word it.
You didn't disappoint.
Half much cunts.
Stop it! Stop it!
I'm going to make that title episode. Half much cunts.
HMC.
We'll do it HMC, all right? HMC it is.
Can we please? Let's start
it's
a
like
food
a
truck.
HSP. Set it like a HSP.
Do a food truck called
Fucking
HMC.
Jesus Christ.
And everything you get.
You just get a fish taco with a bite taken out of it.
But whatever it is, Nate just rips it in half, slaps it on the floor, and then serves it to you. So it might be
He's got him. He's wiping tears. He's wiping tears. We've got him.
It might be a patty melt. God help you if it's the enchiladas.
That's it. And you can only order if you pull up in a cab and go and order it and leave the cab running whilst you order.
The motor's got to stay running. The meter's got to keep running. Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, that's like the gimmick. Like you've got like an old cab meter like on the counter there, and and you punch it when the order goes in.
Oh,
that's how much you're going to pay.
Marketing geniuses, I tell you. Well, I expect the Tigers to get a solid feed from the HMC truck and come away solid victors against the Raiders.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Honestly, though, I mean, like,
we went off on a
assume...
tangent. That's so good.
We did. That's what
That's the funniest thing I've heard today. And today was the first time I saw an ad on television for a brand of canned tomatoes called Mutti.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mutti is the brand when it comes to canned tomatoes.
It's Mutti.
Yeah.
And their fucking tagline was something like, eat Mutti when you need to be sure or some shit. So, the fucking HMCs.
Yeah, I mean, it's like like Mutti. It means like mother in Italian, doesn't it? I think.
That's
I
unfortunate.
don't know. I didn't delve that hard down the fucking,
Yeah.
I didn't go to fucking Google AI.
It's also, and funny, it's not just a brand of tomatoes and pasta sauce based products.
We will do anything to avoid talking about this game.
It's also it's also the number one descriptor.
Hang on.
It's also the number. It's the number one
light
descriptor.
again. I can see him. Can you see him?
Yeah, slightly better.
I can
there
see
we go.
him.
Now I can.
There.
Yeah.
There we go. We're
He's
talking about the Tigers. The lights come on.
Now
he's
you're
lit
dark.
up.
The minute you said
I
Tigers.
said Tigers. I went dark again.
But the thing is, the dishes from the HMC food truck not only use and heartily endorse Mutti tomato products, it's also a descriptive adjective. Like when you say, "Oh, how was your HMC?" He goes, "Oh, it was Mutti."
Bueno Mutti.
Molto Mutti.
But it's like aloha that can mean two things.
Yeah.
It's like, how was your HMC? Mutti.
Tigers 13 plus. That's it. Put a pin in it.
Raiders by 8.
Wow.
Do you have? Is there a reason you're playing at Campbelltown other than just to do it? I mean, no one died or anything. There's no armbands going on.
No. It's the Who Cares Cup. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Look. I hope
There
to
we
see the
go.
Tigers, keep their resolve, but I don't think they're going to win this game, Glennie. The Rays got too much to play for.
I can't even remember the last time we lost a game, mate. We're fucking on a winning streak.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I guess you are.
Nothing technical
Yeah,
about it.
I guess.
I
guess you are, Glennie.
I don't like your attitude.
Anyway, that's it.
I've gone dark again, literally.
That's 51.
I flashed.
Oh, it's far less entertaining than it sounds to your listener. Glennie's lights on the white balance of his the exposure on his webcam just keeps changing randomly. Okay, that's it. If you're in the Patreon, you'll see that I did a mass content dump of like 14 episodes or something of the mid-season reviews over the weekend. And I've decided, I think we'll keep them exclusive on Patreon. What is it now? It's the 19th. I reckon we will keep them exclusive on Patreon. I reckon until the start of July. Start rolling out on the 1st of July, like one a day or something.
Yep.
So that way, it's a decent window for the patrons. And then, as far as like our experiment, it means it's, we can actually segregate and go, okay, it's July.
Yep.
As well, and test it out and everything.
For regular listeners, we've done a mid-season review with a fan from the listener base of each club. So we none of us got on and reviewed our own team. They're all from listeners of the show. And let me tell you a couple of things I've found out. The clubs whose listeners you thought would be absolute techno-tards, you're right. The fans of listeners who are able to read and use both a clock and a calendar, you are right. This one's a bit inside baseball, but the fan who you thought would be most likely to dog the boys, you're right.
Is that a Sharks fan?
Certainly was.
I didn't, and I just want to clarify. I didn't know that. I was actually using the example you provided.
But fuck, they were great to do. and I am now all in on this new shorter format to give some more bonus content. So there is some fucking cool stuff in the pipeline. I'd like to thank absolutely everybody involved. Everyone that came on, gave a great account of their team. And whether it was positive or negative, everybody spoke from the position of being a great fan of their club. So thank you to everybody. Special shout out to Biggest Tiger, who did with me a New South Wales Cup review. That one, that's worth the price of Patreon alone, just to listen to that. That was a fucking great episode. We didn't do one on Q Cup because that's not a real competition. So a great bit of extras there for the patrons.
You Enjoy. And Biggest, what a tandem. Either end of the fucking...
Is the best advertisement for fucking New South Wales Cup like that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like, I defy anyone to listen to that and not fucking want to go like the very next weekend.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I am all about fucking local sport at the moment. Like, both the boys are well into. They've got an NBL 1 basketball team that runs their local competition.
Mm-hmm.
And going to those games is the fucking greatest thing. Like, the kids love it. The atmosphere is sensational. Win or lose, they run down and interact and fucking take selfies with the players. And so, yeah, if New South Wales Cup, if the vibes there are half of what T has put them out to be, then fucking everyone get down to a game.
There you go.
There we go.
Got anything else to add there, fucking sleepyhead?
I'm done. It's good to be back.
Yeah, I know.
All right. How mutty are you feeling, Glenn?
Extremely mutty. Thank you for asking.
Okay, let's go.
All right. On that note, we'll see you next week.
HMC.
Later.